So I had a bit of an issue with the wiring, because I'll show you in a minute when we go in the boiler. I had made an assumption what was live, and that wasn't live. So when I turned the power on in there, boiler came on, but we had nothing in here. So I just had to do a bit of rejigging in there. Welcome to this crisp Saturday morning. Yes, it's a Saturday. Yes, I'm working. Did it, didn't I? Tried to open the door without undoing the tube. No, I did one. Got to do the bottom one. There we go. Okay. Yes, as I was saying, it's Saturday, and yes, I am working, and yes, that is because it's silly season. I've got a massive backlog at the moment of work to get through, which I'm struggling to get through, which means I'm now having to sacrifice my Saturdays, which I haven't done in a long time, but there is physically not enough time for me in the week to get through all my work. And the only reason I'm doing the Saturdays is for existing customers. No new customers, they can wait or find someone else. As not being harsh, it's the truth. Like, I can't service everyone all the time. I can do the best that I can, and I help out my existing customers, but I can't be doing this for new customers where there isn't already an existing relationship there. Okay, right, let me get up there. And the reason I'm coming today to do this is because this job is in Bermondsey, which is in the congestion charge zone, and Saturday the congestion zone doesn't start until midday, which means I've got a few hours. Well, it's 10:30 now, so I've got an hour and a half to get this done. It's just a gas valve and a vaillant, so as long as everything else is alright, we should be out of here way before midday. So let's go in and get this done. Okay, first things first, drop test. Luckily meters inside the flat, so I haven't got to go out anywhere. Now if we have a look on here at the fault list, F54, F28, F22, F54, F29, F52, F52. So there's been low pressure, and then obviously the F54 and the F28s are related to the gas valve. You've got to make sure you do get the right gas valve according to the kilowatt. So for these, you do need the GC number. I've got a few gas valves at home, but I didn't have the one for this particular model. So I picked one up. Let's get that replaced. Yeah, view doesn't look too good either. Right, what have I done? AAV's been replaced and I'm going to rebuild the gas valve. And what I've also done is there's an unvented cylinder here. There's an unvented cylinder here. Expansion vessel on that was flat as a pancake, so I've recharged that as well. Now what was I doing? I was just in the process of rebuilding the gas valve. Well, it's built on there. Let's do another drop test. Right, boiler's back on, drop test is done. I'm now just going to do my 26.9 checks, make sure everything's all good. As long as we are, we're out of here. This will be the last job for Saturday. Yeah. I picked up 3 old PCBs for an ideal ISA, ICOS, whichever it is, for my shed. This existing customer of mine, they sent me a picture this morning. There's fuse spurrers on, there's lights on the programmer, nothing on the boiler. So I'm assuming PCBs are gone, and I'm hoping one of these works. Let's go in and see what we can do. Right, here we go. This is the one that I've done a fair bit of work to. Got power at the programmer. That's pretty much coming apart, but I don't think that's the issue. It's not doing anything. I'm just going to check. Well, we've definitely got power going into it, so I'm just going to swap out one of these boards and see if that sorts it. So that was easy. Didn't even get a chance to record anything. Once I popped the display cover down, somehow the connector plug had come away from it. My luck never gets that good. Plugged it back in, turned it on, it's all working. Didn't need to change anything. That's me, done for the day. How are we all doing? What's the date today? Monday, the 30th of September. And I'm here down in Twickenham to help my colleague Sam do another conversion. This one is another cylinder for cylinder, but we've got a gravity fed cylinder, which is going to be replaced with an unvented cylinder. And then round here, got a heat only boiler, and that's going to be replaced with a system boiler. We've already got gas coming up in 22, which is good. That's what we need. Sam's just up in the loft, cutting everything out up there. I've got vertical flue to do. We're just dealing with that. We have called a roofer because it's raining today. It's really slippery outside, and the pitch is really steep. So it's not worth taking the risk of getting up on the roof to try and do it ourselves. So Sam's called in his roofer guy, which hopefully he's going to be able to make it down today. Now in here, we've already sort of made a start, but just enough so I can show you guys what's going on and what's what. Standard drain off doesn't work, so we siphoned it out. There is a shower pump here, and I believe the side entry one is called an Essex flange, isn't it? I think the top entry ones, you've got the Surrey flange and you've got the Warwick's flange, and the side entry one is the Essex flange, if I'm not mistaken. Now luckily boiler's just on the other side of this wall, and we have our pipe work pretty much all here. So what we've got, that's our return, because that's going down. That's the cylinder return going into there, and then that pipe down there, that is our flow, primary flow pipe, and we can identify that by it's going into the center port of the 3-port valve. So in terms of the conversion, it's going to be pretty straightforward. We've got our flow and returns from the boiler just there, and then we're going to be obviously swapping this out for 2 2-ports, converting it to an S plan. Wiring centers here, so that's going to all get redone as well. And in terms of hot and colds, this is we've got rising cold main coming up here. So we'll upsize this to 22 as low down as we can and bring that combi valve and then back into the cylinder. Then that's just gonna go. And then this is a cold down service from the cylinder, from the header tank. We've got another cold down service from the header tank that was going into this pump. So these two will get linked out basically just in the airing cupboards. So I will try and go off the balance cold connection and then link these two out. So that's that done. Hot we've got here, and then obviously we're going to get rid of the shower pump connection, so we'll have to tap onto that. So I'm hoping Sam's got a poly elbow for that, 15mm poly elbow, because these ones are all 22s. Yeah, so I hope he's got a 15mm poly elbow for us to come off of that and then to copper or whatever we need to do. So basically that and that will get linked. I can even link that straight into here, and then we just have one connection going to there rather than having two connections coming off the combi valve. I'm not sure yet. It depends. Once we get the cylinder in and decide where we're going to site the combi valve, then we'll have a little bit more of a better idea of how we're going to do things. And even the flow and returns, the zone valves, depending on where the flow and returns are on the cylinder, I would like to try and put zone valves here because we've got more space here, but then it's a case of getting back round here to get onto the heating flow. So I'm not sure yet. I might cut and then bring pipes round the back of the cylinder, bring them here, and then put the two zone valves here. So I've got one for the heating flow, one for the hot water flow. The other option is could put them higher up here. Again, it depends on how tall the new cylinder is going to be. We've got a few options. We've got space here and we've got space here, so we'll see what we can do. I think the cylinder has finished siphoning. I'm going to start undoing the connections on this. Like I said, look, it is a very tight cupboard space here. I'll see if there's a way for me to set the camera up and do it as a time lapse, but if not, it's just going to be sort of progress update and things like that. But let me now start disconnecting stuff and see how we get on, and we'll go from there. Oh, all right. The old cylinder's out, and now I've got to try and fit that in here. I'm gonna have a little tidy up in here first, have a little clear up. Now that that's off, I'm gonna probably cut that there, spin this elbow that way, bring it around here, and get our zone valves here. Hot and cold, they're going to be linked out after we've got the combi valve on, and then link into those hot and colds there as well. Need to remember to put the filling loop on. Now we have our return down here, so the cylinder return is going to have to go into there. Depending on how the new cylinder sits inside, I don't know if it will be easier to also spin that T round, bring the return round from there. So I think the flow, the heating flow, where I was going to bring it back around there, I don't think we're going to do that. I think it'll be easier once the cylinder's in. Again, depending on how much space we've got, just so I can bring it along the floor and then into the zone valve there. And then hopefully the cylinder return, which is that bottom connection there, depending on which way it's going to sit, should be able to maybe bring that out around and go into there. Probably remove that push fit T and put a press T on there. So yeah, fair bit to do. We also need to get the condense done first as well, because once the cylinder's in, the new condense is going to come lower. So I think we're going to punch a hole, bring the condense round, and then leave it open-ended here for the time being, so then we can get the cylinder in. Then we're going to have to take this boxing off and go into this. It is a plastic stack, so we'll be able to go straight into there. Try and work around everything as best as we can. Again, it's another tight cupboard, so I'm not sure how much I'll be able to film. If there's any way I can set the camera up on a time lapse, I'll just see how we get on. All right. It's what's the time? It's already 20 to 3, so we are running well behind today. But it's because there's been a lot of taking the cylinder out, putting it back in. So originally I was planning to bring the flow from the back round there, but then there's not enough space there. So then I decided I was just going to do hot water's on valve, heating's on valve, and then we decided we needed to redo the return anyway, so we then decided to redo the flow, because now that I've taken that pipe out, because I did do the pipe originally around the back, but the cylinder was too far this way. Now that that's taken out, it pushes in further back, and then we've punched a new hole for the flow. So now from there, I can tee straight onto the heating's on valve, come out onto the hot water's on valve, return there is tied in, and now I can just literally bring that out, round and into there, and then we can start working on the hot and cold surfaces as well. So yeah, it's going to be a late finish day, but today is going to be the long slog to try and get as much done as possible, and then tomorrow we just want to come back and concentrate on the wiring and a few finishing bits. So let's just crack on. Well, it's what, 7:15, and we've just finished piping everything up. Flow and returns are done, hot and colds are done, vessel's done, water's just been put on. So now let's test all of this. And let this cylinder fill up now. We'll let that fill up first, and then we're going to pressurize the heating system as well. So we had hot and colds there, came off the balance cold for the rest of the property, gone onto that bit of plastic in there, filling loops tied in. What else? Hot's all tied in. Had to put the zone valves on each of the individual outlets because there wasn't enough space to do anything else anywhere else. So now we're just going to let the cylinder fill up. Let's make sure this is tight, because sometimes, yeah, let's see. And also I think I need to wind that in a little bit more as well. So let me just go ahead and do that whilst it's filling up, and then we can fill up the heating system and test all that as well. Okay, we are pressurized. Sam's just going around bleeding all the rads. Flow rate here, very good, very nice. I show you. Bath is where you really want to see it. Yeah, boy. Cold. As expected, because it's off the balance cold, so everything is well, flying up. So yeah, we are just going to bleed the rads, done for tonight, and then back tomorrow to do the condense, PRV, wiring. Oh, I'm losing my balance, and the flue. So the roofer came and he'd done the flue through the roof, and now tomorrow we just got to tie in the rest of the flue. Let me show you the boiler as well. So yeah, that's what Sam's done on the boiler. Fortunately, he's had the easy job. That's all done. Bypassing everything's in as well. So we are good. So yeah, just gonna have a little clear up, have a little tidy up, and then call it a night for tonight. And it's actually not bad time. It's 7:30, and considering it didn't start till late. I don't think I actually started any pipe work until 1. So 6.5 hours is not bad, because there's a lot of getting the cylinder in and out to try and figure out what we're going to do, how we're going to pipe it, but it's kind of all worked out in the end. I'm happy with it. Customer's happy because they've got heating hot water and much better pressure now. So yeah, see you tomorrow. Right, here we are, day 2. First thing we want to check. Yes, pressure's held 1 bar. Okay, so pressure's all good. Today I'm going to be focusing on the wiring, Sam's going to be focusing on the condense and the PRV, and then me and him are both going to get the flue done. The roofer came yesterday and he's dropped the vertical flue in through the roof, and we just need to do the connections on the inside. So that's going to be the last thing we're going to do. First thing we're going to do, I'm going to do the wiring, Sam's going to do the condense and PRV, then get the flue done, and hopefully I can get back, because it's actually going crazy. I had calls coming yesterday. I'm on a 2-day job, nothing I can do. It is what it is. Let's just try and get this done today as quick as possible, and obviously commission everything as well. I'm sweating, which means everything's on, heating's on. That's why I'm bloody hot, but we're done. So I had a bit of an issue with the wiring, because I'll show you in a minute when we go in the boiler. I had made an assumption what was live, and that wasn't live. So when I turned the power on in there, boiler came on, but we had nothing in here. So I just had to do a bit of rejigging in there. I was going to record it, but then today I just wanted to get done. Sam has sorted out the flue and he sorted out the condense. So you use that McAlpine Boss adapter thing. So that drills straight into there, and then you turn it anti-clockwise and it locks it in. So we've got the TPRV and the PRV and the condense from the boiler all running into there. And that's going straight into the soil stack, so that's good. We are pressurized. Heating hot water's both on. That's nice and hot. What else do you want to know? Oh, it's a unvented cylinder on Y plan. And in here we have the boiler, which is obviously a lot more cleaner looking because there's less pipe work going on. That's all done. Flue vertically all done again. Put another Tesla ton dish there, and the condenser is going in after the trap, so that if the trap in the boiler was to ever dry up, we're not going to have any PLCs leaking out through the tundish. So there we go, we're all done. Everything's been cleared up. Sam's just taken the last few bits back to his van. Everything's tidied. And we have finished at, 2:30. Blinding. That's the sort of thing I was after today. Just get it done today. Half day. Now, got to get back. My phone has been going crazy. I've got tons of messages and people to get back to. Everyone's boiler's on the blink now. I'm not going to get around to everything, but I'll get around to as many as I can. I've got power flush to do tomorrow, which is another whole day job. Yeah, I'm not superhuman. I can only do as much as I can. And that's what I'll be telling customers. If they can wait, great. If not, then unfortunately, they'll have to find someone else, because I'm not going to kill myself over work. It's not worth it. I've been there, I've done that, had a mental breakdown, and it's just not worth the ag. You know, there's enough work to go around. There's enough work for me to bring in an income to support myself and my family. I'm not going to kill myself over it. And yeah, that's the truth. But we're done here. One final look. Comments, criticisms, welcome. I know this hot pipe here didn't quite straighten up, but look, what's going to happen? This cupboard door is going to get closed. Customers are not going to care about what it looks like as long as they have heat and hot water, which they do. So thanks for watching. Signing out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. On to the next one.